Hello, my name is Abdul, and today we're going to be talking about kernel density estimation and generating guitar tablatures. It's basically just using a machine learning technique to generate new guitar tablatures, which is sheet music, but for guitarists. If you want to see the application in action, you can skip to the timestamp in the description. But for now, I'm just going to walk you through an intuitive definition of what is going on. So first of all, what is kernel density estimation? It's a fancy name, but in its essence, it's a very simple concept. So let me just go through a hypothetical example. Imagine you have 3 red balls and 2 blue balls in a bag, and the bag is opaque, and you want to take out a ball. So there's a 60% chance that you choose a red ball, and there's a 40% chance you get a blue ball, right? Because 3 out of 5 is 60%, 2 out of 5 is 40%. So in its essence, that's all what kernel density estimation does. It learns the probability of each data point in your data set. So there's one more thing I would like to add to the hypothetical example. Say you take out the red ball. You're like, cool, I got a red ball, great. But you also have to replace that red ball. This is called sampling with replacement. Because think about it, if you take out the red ball, then you're left with 2 blue balls and 2 red balls in the bag. The probabilities are going to change. It's going to be 50-50 instead. But in real life, your data is what it is. The probabilities don't change. You already have it. So yeah, this is just called sampling with replacement. A small nuance to the explanation. So how does it work with music? Good question, but I made the question up because I'm presenting, but yeah, good question by me. So imagine the red balls and the blue balls are musical notes instead. The idea is that you can also choose which colored balls you want to put in the bag. So this is in the context of our application, what it means is that you can choose which music you want to put in your application. So it's like in the ball example, you can put in blue balls. We already have them. So you want to put in, say you want to put in yellow balls, teal balls, and green balls. In the context of our application, you can choose whatever music you want to input, and it's gonna learn from it. So if you want to put in jazz, you can put in jazz. If you want to put in rock, you can put in rock. Classical music, that works too, as long as your data is available. So what our kernel density estimator is gonna do is it's gonna learn from that music, or I guess the notes, and it's gonna give you new ones based on your data. So say you put in jazz and rock. If you put in more jazz, you're gonna get more jazz in the output compared to rock. Because like in the ball example, there were more red balls, so there was a higher chance of you getting red balls. So that's the idea behind that. So how do we make the music sound fine? Because it's subjective, and for that we're gonna be using Western music theory. Basically, we're just gonna be choosing some aspects of it and fit them into a program, because the idea is that in Western music theory, we've developed ideas over the past 8 centuries that some things sound fine consonant together, some things don't sound fine, they sound dissonant together. So let me just give you an example. I have an unplugged guitar with me. I'm gonna play an E major scale. Sounds fine, but now I'm gonna play something which, according to music theory, sounds off or dissonant. So here we go. So that last note, it sounds kind of weird. You can use it in different contexts, but most songs don't go about using it, and we just stick to consonant sounds instead of dissonant ones. But you can use it like if you want to make cinematic music, you want to build up tension, you can play these notes. But we're not doing that right now. So the idea is that we know what some sounds work well together and some sounds don't. And that's called the key or a scale or a mode. Some frequency or some notes that work well together. So the idea is that you input the music, you get these outputs, but you only keep the outputs which are in the key or mode or scale that the user has specified. So say if I want our song to be in C major, we only sample the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B from our input. And if I want it to be in A minor, an A minor has the same notes as a C major, like it's still C, D, E, F, G, A, B, but we focus or emphasize more on the A note, which gives it a minor or a sad feel. So in the context of our like ball example, it would just mean that, say you have a red, a blue, and a green ball, but you know the blue and green balls go together. So when we pick out the balls, if we take out a red ball, we're like, nah, I don't need you. You go back in. And then we take out the blue ball, and we're like, cool, you're good. We take out a green ball, and we're like, cool, you're good. So that's the intuition behind how we make our music or output work. So now we're just gonna jump into me actually showcasing the app. So in the original paper, there is a backing track that is rather jazzy or bluesy. You can call it whatever. But I take 3 songs and use them as input to make a solo for the backing track. 2 of them are also blues songs, and 1 of them is a rock song. So let's just hear the backing track first, and I'll walk you guys through how I went about making it in the application. So here's the track. Okay, so we need to add a solo to this. At least that's what I'm going to be showcasing right now, and I'll walk you guys on how I did it. So here's the repository on my computer. These are all the files for the code. So the first song is Thrill Is Gone by B.B. King. The second one was Fly Me to the Moon, Frank Sinatra. And the third one was Slide Away by Oasis. So there's like 2 bluesy songs and 1 rock song. So let's go about using it. I launched the program here, and these are just instructions, and I can paste in the tablature I want here. Let's go with this one first. So there's a specific way the program expects your tablature to be formatted, because there are lots of ways that you can format tablatures, and this is just a proof of concept, so I haven't coded my program to deal with all formats of tablatures. So I'm just gonna format these a bit. Yeah, I think that's good. We press enter. Do we want to input more tabs? Yes, we do. We have 2 more songs, and I'm only choosing sections of a song right now because, again, like I can do all. It can be coded to just copy paste this whole thing and put in the program, but it's gonna take a lot of time, and it's just a proof of concept right now. So right now we just take sections of a song. Like if I really want to put in a whole song, we can just take this part and take this part and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So right back to the second song, I chose this section. Let's copy it, boom, paste. I think this one's formatted nicely, yeah, already, so this is what I coded for. I can just press enter. Do you want to input more tabs? Yes, I do. Last one, the Oasis song. I copy it, paste. So this needs a bit of formatting. Here we go. I'm just gonna do that right now. Okay, so I think that should be good enough. We have 3 tabs. I'm gonna input this. No, I don't want to input more tabs. And I know my backing track's in D major, so I'm just gonna choose the key here, and I can choose a mode as well. But right now I'm just sticking to the major scale. Let's get the output. Yeah, here we have the tabs. Let's just make it full screen, and we're gonna play the backing track, and we're gonna use these tabs, use this tab as a solo over it. Let's see how it goes. So this is the backing track alongside the tablature that was output on the top. Let me just play the old ones. This is what we made before. This is one of them. This is another one of them. But yeah, now we're gonna do a third one using the tablature at the top. So I'm just gonna noodle around in the start. See how it goes. Okay, so let's go about recording it now. I think if someone is a better guitarist than me, they probably could have done a better job. But this is what I could noodle around with in a few minutes. Again, I used the notes that were given to me in the tab. I played around them with a bit, of course. I skipped some notes, but it's up to the guitarist. But the idea for what I played was still given to me by the tabs. I still followed whatever that was provided, like the same notes that were in there. But that's what I came up with. If someone else looked at it, they might see it in a different way. Again, it depends on the level of the guitarist, and it's probably gonna be useful more towards intermediate or like experienced guitarists. Because if you're a new player, you might not really know which notes to skip, which are hard to play, whether you should play them or not. So I would still say it's better for intermediate or experienced guitarists, but it does work. And hopefully you guys enjoy it when you end up using it.